Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to another MAMJ Let's Play of Sound of Drop. Fall into Poison. When we left off, Mayu, one of the main characters, saw an apparition of her sister. I'm guessing it's an apparition. I don't think it's her actual sister. Or if it is, she's already dead and long gone because she was wearing the exact same outfit that she was like 5 years ago and she hasn't aged. Not looking very good. But anyways, we're in this flashback sequence, I guess during the chase scene, this like, I don't know, I want to say locket, but it was like a keychain thingamajig. We may find out what it is in this flashback scene, but it was dropped and now our lead character has run off, upset at her friend, which reminds me way too much of Course Party. But let's see what happens during this flashback scene. For the two of you, just this once. Upon saying that, Mom handed us each 100 yen coins. That day was a cold winter day, at the Manhattan Aquarium souvenir area. The smell of construction lingered faintly in the air. There were manta and penguin stuffed animals, stationery with the logo on it, and various souvenirs. At the entrance to that souvenir stand, there were the gacha machines containing that keychain. Okay, so it's a keychain, and I was gonna say there's no way you're buying a stuffed animal for 100 yen. It would be like this big, because it's $1. It's equivalent roughly to $1. Like, a gacha machine is pretty much all you could use it for. I don't remember all of the various types, but the star sand was packed into plastic drops, and the charms were all modeled after fish at the aquarium. It was a fairly typical for gacha, but at that time, it seemed very enticing to me. It was the same for Mari, and we gazed into the gacha machine. Mari was the one who would usually beg our parents at this point, but neither of us had bought a souvenir, and both of us said we wanted the keychains. Since Mom couldn't be completely broken, she empathized with us the only one time bit. Yay! Mari held out both hands with glee, while I probably just smiled. I remember that inside, I was just happy. As to which of us went first, it was of course the more assertive Mari. She always likes this, a cheerful and inquisitive child. How cute, Mr. Star! Mari got a starfish charm keychain. At this point, Mari still didn't know the difference between the starfish and the star. I was the next to get one. It was a pink drop with a jellyfish charm. Okay. A jellyfish. That's the one I wanted the most. Mari pointed the index finger of her tiny hand, exclaiming in a loud voice. Mari was just learning how to use first person when she mentioned herself, instead of a normal I or me. She said it slowly. Hey, big sister, trade me. No way. I want this one. Naturally, as I'd already fallen in love with that design, I obstinately turned her down. Upon begging my mother for one more time, my mother, who had warned us earlier, held her purse strings tight, leaving Mari to sulk. Fine, stupid big sister. Without listening to my mother's admonishments, she ran off. Sulking after being called stupid, I naturally didn't chase her right away. My mother, being optimistic about the aquarium's small size, also waited a while to go looking for Mari. Okay. I can see how that would be when the sister disappeared, but that's not the keychain that was dropped. And now all I'm left with are my regrets. If only I had gone after her sooner. If only I traded keychains with her in the first place. Even so, the past is unchanging, and I'm left only with my regrets to bear. So in case I could ever trade with Mari again, I stubbornly carried around that keychain, the one with the pink droplet shape and the jellyfish charm, like a treasure. I rummaged through my bag, seeking to feel the keychain in my hand. Huh? Why? At a time like this, I'd forgotten to bring it. The keychain wasn't in my bag or in my pockets. A sigh naturally slipped out of my body. After all, I've lost sight of Mari and strayed from Himeno. Himeno had the building map, so there's nothing I can do. Huh? At that moment, a pungent aroma floats by and causes me to speak in surprise. Unable to bear the irritating stench, I pinch my nose. Still, the stench seems to twist in my nose. It's made of the smell of sewage, sulfur, and the nauseating stink of vinegar. Oh no, we don't squish. As soon as I try to get away from the smell, something soft creeps along the bottom of my foot. As I hesitantly look down, I realize the true identity of the putrid odor. It's a corpse. I'm not sure what type, but it's as big as my arm span. The body is slowly decaying and hasn't retained its original form. Yet by its bulging, round eyes and slightly extended tail fin, I can just barely tell that it was a fish. I couldn't tell right away, but it has a silhouette similar to a Pirarucu? Okay? I feel like I've seen those eerie glaring eyes, characteristic of a freshwater fish. I feel sick. I move my foot slowly, and a small fragment of the corpse sticks to the bottom of my shoe, on the other side of which I notice something wriggling desperately. The slight sound of flapping wings departs from beside my ear. I understand that the wriggling thing is an insect. Shaking, chills run up my spine as if someone has pressed ice to it. I take a step back and drop my cell phone. The phone reacts with the backlight LCD screen coming on, illuminating the dead body. The syrupy dead body absorbs the light, and the winged insect that flees to avoid it. There's also a meandering white nematode that seems not to notice. The backlight soon disappears, leaving its stench amidst the darkness. The shadows of those hideous insects are scorched into my retinas, and they sway like the light off of a heat haze in the darkness. Something was creeping up from the pit of my stomach. Oh god, should we endure it? Endure it. Just endure it. I immediately shut my mouth, enduring what had come up. The intermingled acyclic taste of the vomit had come up, and the scent of the stomach acid lingering in my nostrils mixed with saliva and caused my eyes to water in pain. Ooh. Why was it so painful? I can't figure out the answer to my doubts. Not at all. I cover my eyes with both hands. I couldn't have made it if I didn't. But shutting up my vision leaves my sense of smell, causing the smell of rotten water and the stench of the dead body to become more intense. So, I uncover my eyes. No. What is this? This is a place for customers. Is it really alright for this to be here? On top of that, I was in the middle of chasing money, wasn't I? No. That isn't the problem. It's strange enough that there's a place like this in the middle of the aquarium. Anyway, I have to get out of here. The stench is so overpowering. It's as if I can see it. I want to get out of here quickly, satisfying myself with the argument that it's a garbage dump or something, and that if I only get away, I'll be fine. At any rate, I can go back the way I came. No, that's no good. I might run into Himeno. At this moment, I don't want to see her face. Really? Come on! Just make up already. My eyes having adjusted a bit to the darkness, I search for a way out. Here, the tanks are broken, and the little remaining water stinking, and the bodies of living things have tumbled out here and there. I think about how happy I am that I can't see. Even so, to find the exit, I'll have to look around. My nose has begun to go numb, and thanks to that, I'm somehow able to retain my sanity. Before long, I found a dim emergency light behind one of the tanks, and head towards it as if it were the last hope I could cling to. I feel squishing several times beneath my feet, but I try to ignore it and move on. As I move toward the emergency light, it seems the smell is becoming faint. Huh? I get used to the scattered shards of glass and the rotten fish corpses just before I reach the door. The tip of my shoe feels as if it's kicked something hard. Something different from before. Wondering what I had kicked, I casually look down. No. No. What? I get the sensation that all the blood has stopped flowing through me, and that my heart has stopped completely. What? The round thing I kicked has patches of hair, 2 eyes, and a nose. A nose with a bone on it, and a mouth. Altogether, it is... a human face. Oh, we're gonna lose it. Speaking accurately, it's a head rather than a face. It's completely lifeless and rolls away with a flopping sound when my foot touches it. Seeing the state the head is in, I begin to feel ill again, despite finally having calmed down from before. of the white cranium, only the forehead area seems to be exposed. It seems this is new and has only just begun to decay. No, for starters, there's no way a human head should be rolling around here. It's my imagination, or it has to be from some model. I haven't yet looked in the direction it was rolling. Convincing myself that it isn't a human head, it really is different, so there is no satisfying myself. I place my hands on the door in an attempt to escape. Unable to control my shaking hands, it takes 3 tries before I can open the door. It's a heavy fire door that is usually open. Ooh. This is pretty. I step inside with my thoughts racing, and the atmosphere changes completely once more. I hear the sound of the door closing behind me. Inside is a very clean place. The transparent water is tinted a faint blue, and inside float fantasy-like jellyfish. Countless pillar-shaped tanks are spread around, and the water shimmers as it reflects the light of the fluorescent lamp. Red and yellow, green and purple, the jellyfish's bodies diffusing light like a prism. In spite of the strange space I have reached, I'm fascinated by the shimmering live art display. Himeno, I mutter without thinking. Then I quickly shake my head, erasing the image of Himeno's face that appears in my mind. Earlier, she didn't come after me. After all, Himeno chose on her own to part ways from me. I'm sure it's because she dislikes me now. It isn't something I should worry about. Even at a quick glance, I can see that there are various types of jellyfish in the tank. Having made efficient use of the small space, it's a charming area. It vividly expresses the starry sky, as is fitting of the name Mountain Aquarium. Compared to the earlier Fish of the World booth, this one isn't in the least bit in decay. I wonder if Muddy came this way. Ooh, going back is dangerous. I can't do anything by stopping here. I have to press on. I'll feel worried about Himeno all of a sudden. I'll go back. I'm gonna save. Hang on. Give me a second. Cause I don't know, there's a lot of bad endings. I want to double back, but at the same time, somebody was dead in there. But I don't know. Like, there's the exit right there, I'm guessing. But is it safe? Should we go any further? I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back and see what happens. I think that they need to make up and be the best of friends, and we're gonna get through this together. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I feel worried about Himeno all of a sudden. I'll go back. Upon thinking whether or not it's alright for me to just enjoy something so pretty, I reach for the door behind me. Even though we fought, Himeno and I are friends. Sharing such a lovely memory will surely help us make up quickly. I step forward, and it's at that moment... What? Huh? When I open the door and step through it, there is no Fish of the World booth. Before I can even rationalize the scene before me, I'm pulled in by some sort of swell. What? Ugh. Trying to figure out what's wrong, I realize I'm having trouble getting air. I really want air, so I pause for breath. My mouth fills with a fishy stench. Brine. Seawater. I know from the salty taste that I've swallowed seawater. The reason I can't breathe, it's because all around me is ocean water. I understand that I'm in the ocean, devoid of light, no light and no sound, in the darkness. Wondering why, I move my limbs. At this rate, I'll drown. It hasn't been more than a minute since I got pulled in under the sea. How many seconds have passed at this point? No, that isn't it. I have to get above water. However, up to this point, there's been no light overhead, so I'm forced into an inevitable battle with my despair. I frantically endure my suffocation, swimming higher and higher. Suddenly being thrown in the water hasn't thrown off my sense of up or down, as the desire to live serves as an instinct to guide me upward. I still can't see, but I'm alright. Just like that, I seem to have answered my own question. I can feel the clothes I'm wearing become heavy. However, if I have time to shed my clothes, I have time to continue upward. My thinking is that alone. I've heard there's high pressure in the deep part of the ocean that crushes any living thing, but my body's completely fine. That means where I am at the moment shouldn't be that deep. If you fell that deep that quick, no, there's no way you'd be that far down in the ocean. If I swim hard enough, I should make it. I just have to hit the surface and take a deep breath. How many seconds have passed at this point? I have no sense of time whatsoever in this darkness. Even so, I know that some time has passed since I was thrown into the ocean. A minute probably passed a while ago. Here, my consciousness has begun to fade. A minute? I would be freaking out. Like, I don't know. I don't know if I could hold my breath for an entire minute. I mean, I probably could in a life or death situation, but if you just like randomly get thrown into it, you don't have time to like take in a deep breath of air, I don't know. Immediately after I see the darkness of death, a small light illuminates the tip of my nose. We're pretty far down. Because I've been swimming so frantically, I haven't noticed, but it seems as though I've gone up quite a ways. It'll be all right. The surface is close. I reach out my hand. I reach out towards the light. That is all I can do. That's because my legs won't move. No matter how frantically I try to move them, my legs won't even quiver. It feels as if something has ensnared them. Something's grabbing us. God dang it. It is the elasticity of a bottomless trampoline. From the tips of my toes to my rear end, that soft sensation wraps tightly around me. I want to think it's a lie. No, I've actually decided I will not believe it. That a giant octopus has wrapped itself around my legs. Its gum-like suckers are the size of my palm of my hand. I can't even imagine how large its entire body is. The light is getting farther away. My eyes have already closed. For some reason, Himeno's smiling face floats before me, though it should be her angry face that I see last. Just like that, I'm in darkness. As much as it has tightened up, my legs have lost all feeling. No wonder. My legs are no wonder what they once were. With the depletion of my oxygen supply, my brain has already changed into a machine for merely processing my situation. Within the darkness, it dispassionately communicates my non-existent will to my four limbs, which have lost all sensation. It won't be long before the only thing I can sense is darkness. That's because I've already become part of that darkness. Into the silent abyss. Huh? Well, there's my first bad ending. Okay, so going back just freaking threw us into the ocean. And apparently an octopus pulled us down? That's so weird. That's so weird. Okay. Well, let's continue the way I'm supposed to then. Alright, going back is dangerous. Apparently. I can't do anything by stopping here, I have to press on. Going back is dangerous. I can't do anything by stopping here, I have to press on. And so, I start towards the starry sky. I gaze in fascination to the right and left of me. If circumstances weren't what they are, I would have stopped and stared into each and every tank. The tanks lined up all together are beautiful enough, but each one is vivid like the night sky inlaid with jewels. Altogether there are 7 tanks. Each one holds a different type of jellyfish, some with poison, some without, categorized by aspects such as where they live. They really are beautiful. I stop and stand in the very center, between the 3rd and 4th tanks. I wonder if the last time we came, these tanks were here. Nakanobe Mari, my little sister. I lean back against one of the tanks and sit down. Whenever Mari's face appears on my mind, I lose all of my strength. If anyone saw me, I'd be embarrassed, but here and now, in Montem Aquarium, there's no one around. I heave a sigh and look up at the ceiling. For some reason, a large fan is revolving there. My memories of the last time we visited Montem Aquarium aren't all bad. It was the first time in a long time all 4 of us had gone out as a family. Mari and I got along really well, and we always held hands as we walked. We would do things like play house or read picture books aloud. Mari was a bit more of a tomboy than I, so even though I was the older sister, she was the one who gave the orders. Since it's the first time the 2 of us sisters went to the aquarium, it was natural for us to be very excited. Just as one would expect, the first time Mari and I laid eyes on the creatures of the sea, we experienced fear, awe, and the sense of being deeply moved. The creatures we saw at that time have stayed with me as vivid memories. Happy memories. I still have plenty of them. But on such a special day of all days, Mani and I ended up fighting. The rest proceeded just as I remember. See, you fought with your friend too. This is what I'm saying. It's bad news. Since then, my parents buy me anything I want. However, I changed as well, and I didn't really want anything anymore. Greed itself seemed to decline for me, and I never really got excited for anything. That's why when my mother bought me these boot sandals, good lord, the letter B is just jumping all over the place in my mind apparently. I was happy. I was fascinated by their nostalgic ultramarine color. About 1 year after Madi disappeared, she stopped coming up in conversation. I don't know if my mother and father had accepted it as a tragic accident, or if the sadness has slowly faded, but my new normal had begun. I'd become an only child. But that is nothing more than an excuse I can't escape from. Madi, you're here, right? Finally, it seems my strength has returned, and I stand up. Even though I ask, no answer will come. The thundering ventilation fan in the ceiling is the only sound I can hear. It was almost at the same time I stood up. What was? Kya? A crack appears in the tank behind me. Since the glass doesn't make any noise when it splits, I realize it's broken when the water splashes on my rear end. Water continues to flow out, gradually spreading to my feet. The amount of water from the tank is more than just puddles after a heavy downpour. Along with the water flowing forth, the jellyfish that had been in the tank until just a moment ago float out. In order to avoid contact with the water already soaking my sandals, I step back from the puddles without looking away. How? Why? As if to play further with my already bewildered mind, the tank behind me also cracks. Oh, seriously? All 7. Good job. This time, I hear the high-pitched noise of glass cracking. Following that, the tanks are each destroyed in turn. Are we screwed either way? Being stuck in the middle of the passage, water is closing in on me from all sides, leaving me pressed in between. The edge of the water is steadily drawing near. What do I do? The words that slide from my mouth also flow away with the water. The colors of the tanks that had once been so vibrant now seem eerie to me. Among these jellyfish are poisonous ones. Even worse, some of them are fatal. On thinking that, my legs begin to shake in fear. No. But no matter how frightened I become, I know I can't sit down. There's like a ledge right behind you. Just stand up on it and run for your life. Oh god. As if the area I'm in is shrinking, the water and jellyfish are both heading towards me, and it's impossible for me to touch the floor. Save. I need to save. Okay. So now we're getting some decisions. I have 10 slots. We're going to be good. This is going to be like Steins Gate. Okay. Alright. No, right behind you. Right here. This ledge. I have no choice but to run straight through. That seems like a bad idea. No. I can't think of anything. I'm becoming panicked. If I don't calm down with my thoughts swirling around so frantically, I'm getting even more confused. It's a vicious cycle. Turn around, girl! Come on! I thought I said you can't think of anything, you'd bump into it or something. My sandals are getting dirty. This isn't the first thing that occurs to me, but regardless, it's my only clear thought. The puddles of water are gradually drawing closer, and I can't feel anything from the strange jellyfish. I feel my heartbeat speed up as my chest starts to hurt from nervousness. At this point, I have run through without worrying about my sandals. Though they are sandals, the soles are strong. As long as the jellyfish don't jump, I probably won't get stung. Little by little, the safe spots are disappearing. I tightly pull my legs together, which makes me stagger. Kya! I let out a small scream and straighten up a bit. With nothing behind me to lean against, I'm just about cornered. There's a ledge! Is that not a ledge? Am I not seeing that right? Is that like it's not a wall because it goes up and it goes back, right? Why don't you get on it? I wonder if I'll die of jellyfish poison. Rocked by the waves of blended nervousness and fear, I carelessly entertained that line of thinking. The meter gauging my fear must be in full tilt. I think with cool self-deprecation. You're from earlier. Huh? Are the things not broken over here? The sudden yell confuses me. Upon looking the direction of the voice, I see that the door has been thrown open and a man is standing there. Shoot, why are your feet exposed? It can't be helped. That is definitely Hiyoshi-san. The man we called names is now gently removing his shoes and tossing them over to me. My mind races as I catch them. They're thick-soled boots. Put those on and make your way over here. All the jellyfish floating there have deadly poison. Be careful. I take off my sandals and put my feet into his boots, just as he tells me to. The size doesn't fit and they're way too big, but not so big I can't walk in them. I cautiously take a step and, confirming it's alright, take my second, then third steps towards him with my sandals in one hand. Thank you very much. You can thank me later. For now, don't look around. Just come towards me. I know my breathing is increasingly rough, and I get a little embarrassed. However, knowing some concessions will have to be made, I walk through the water and over the jellyfish. When I step on the jellyfish, I feel the squishing sensation through the shoes and shudder. There are shards of glass in the puddles, and that makes me want to thank Hiyoshi-san for being considerate enough to lend me such strong shoes. I can walk the remaining meter. Hiyoshi-san is fairly close. Adjusting my breathing, I carefully take the remaining 3 steps. There's no mistake. In my carelessness, I have overlooked the transparent jellyfish at my feet. Even though I can't see it, I can clearly feel it, and the baggy boots I'm wearing throw off my balance. At this rate, I'll end up on my butt. If I fall now, all the help I have received will be for nothing. Watch out! However, my body is supported by some strength that pulls me back. Hiyoshi-san's right hand grabbed onto my left wrist. It was a close one. Just like that, I'd been pulled out of the room with the broken tanks. Oh, so he was standing there and he tossed him. But still, like, the background had all the fish tanks in order. Anyways, as soon as I was out of danger, Hiyoshi gave a mighty pull and shut the fire door. Whew! We did it! Okay. I'm kind of curious what would happen if I didn't do that, though. This is in front of the souvenir stand. More importantly, why are you here? Well, we're going to have to leave that for the next episode, but I may go back and reload that save file and see how she dies, because I'm going to try and get as many of the death sequences as I can. I want to say there's close to 30 death scenes, and we've got 1, so I may go back in the next episode and see how she dies, probably just getting stung to death by jellyfish, but oh man, this is getting interesting. This is getting creepy. I hope you guys enjoyed as well. But I am loving this game. It's really, really cool, and I can't wait to see what other ways we're gonna die in this aquarium. Sounds horrible, but it's true. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know if you enjoyed. I'll see you guys on the next MAMJ. Let's go. I looked back at Himeno upon hearing her extremely hurt voice. I see her tears forming in Himeno's eyes, and I turn my whole body to face her. I stand in silence like this for several seconds. If I tell Himeno about Muddy, I'm sure she will regret bringing me to Mountain Aquarium. When she followed me, she had to have seen Muddy. It's natural that she would have some misgivings about me chasing some total stranger, since she doesn't know Muddy. Even so, I'm not sure what to say. If I apologize now and play dumb, we could probably go back to playfully searching the aquarium for information.